Well, welcome to 5 Minute Sermons. We're going to have a little bit of a bait and switch, if you will, because I'm not going to take 5 minutes for this one, nor will there be a sermon. However, I'm going to tell a 9/11 story. Today being the anniversary of the collapse of the Twin Towers, where two planes flew into them that rocked our country, rocked our nation. It is something that sticks in our minds, and if you were to go downtown Thermop today and just be driving through, you'd see at the old Quick Mart, the fire truck with the big flag being flown in honor of those who have served and gave their lives in that time. It's interesting to think about all the different things that went on during that day where everybody can, well, know exactly where they were at. And I have a very special story on that day because that is the day 19 years ago that I proposed to my wife. Now, when I tell people that I proposed to my wife on that day, it is, they kind of shake their head. They give it the, really? You did that? Why? Well, let me just tell you the story of why. Help you understand me as a person a little bit, but also I came to a very decisive conclusion as to why. I woke up that morning at my normal time and got to the weight room nice and early, and we ran morning workouts. And as we ran morning workouts, I started hearing people talk about stuff going on in New York, and I just kind of put it to the back of my mind and continued with the work that I had that morning. And when the workouts were finished, I went into the coach's office, and my coach, Scott, he said, "Brian, look at this." And we looked at the computer screen and watched the first plane fly into the first tower. And it all seemed surreal. It seemed like a Tom Clancy book or some sort of movie. It didn't seem real. And that morning I had plans to take care of workouts, go to class, and then have dinner with Betsy, proposing to her that night, asking her to marry me. And so as I went through the day, you could see all the different responses from people, responses of grief and fear, just shutting down and sitting in front of the television. And other people yet, like some of my professors, said tragedies happen every day. Life must go on. And so we talked about interpersonal communication. I was conflicted because I didn't know whether I should continue to keep with my plan or not, if this is something I should wait for or if this is something I should do. And as I went back and forth, and having gone to class and gone back to the weight room and then to class again and then back to the weight room before I headed home, I came to the decision that there needs to be something good on this day, something to remember this day by rather than death and mayhem. And it's not that other people would remember it, but it's that me and my family would remember it, that my wife and I and those children to come in our relationship would remember this day for multiple reasons. Remember a day that bad things happened and seek to keep strong in our country, keep strong in our nation, keep strong as patriots, but also at the same time recognize that even in the middle of darkness there can be something good. 19 years ago, Betsy and I agreed to pursue marriage, and a little bit after 9/11 we did get married, and from that we have 6 beautiful children. We have been faithfully serving for the past 14 years in the ministry, preaching the Word of God. And in that, from the fruit of our marriage and union, God has blessed not only us, but many people around us. And so for us to have started on that day, I don't believe takes anything away from that day, but if anything, adds to it. And so that's my story of us getting married on or getting engaged on that day, and how we try to see it as a good thing rather than a thing to mourn. Hope you enjoyed the story. Catch you guys next time.